Hey guys, it's Kylie. Welcome back to my channel. If you like this eyeshadow look, I just did a stash or trash video on the eyeshadow that I used here. So I'll put that video up here so you guys can check it out if you want to. Today we're going to be talking about what is in my travel bag. So I'm going to show you what I would typically travel with, why, you know, all that fun stuff. So here is the bag that I have. Now I used to just use a regular makeup bag like this, toss it all in there and call it a day. But I found this makeup case on Amazon, I believe, and oh my gosh, I love it so much. It's so nice because oh god, it's sturdy enough that you can just take this along. You don't have to stick it into another suitcase, but it is small enough to be able to do that. When my husband and I went on a cruise, I just stuck this in my carry-on size suitcase and it fit in on one half, and then all of my other important stuff was on the other half. So, I mean, there was more in there than just this. It's not that big. But anyways, it comes in different colors. I just like pink. So here we have the inside of it. At the top, you've got your little pouches for brushes and such. And at the bottom, you've got lots of space here. So the cool thing about this makeup bag and why I liked it so much, one is because you have all of this area up here, so all your brushes aren't just thrown in a bag with everything. These little spacers here are interchangeable. It came with a whole bunch of them. I just took some out and this is what works for me right now. But you can take these out, and everywhere that there's lines basically is where you can put the thingies and make it more adjustable for you, make everything fit in there better, separate things how you want it to be separated. I've played around with it a lot, and right now this is just the way it just works for me. You can take those all out and throw it all in there if you want to. So they do have a bigger version as well. I think it's like a 15-inch by something. That is the one I originally wanted, and I'm actually so glad that this is the size I got because, again, I think it's easier to travel with and it fits everything I need. I don't need any more than this. So let's talk about the stuff that I have inside of it. Okay, first thing in here is like a broken ass scrunchie. Typically I do have one slot for scrunchies, ponytails, and bobby pins because I'm constantly losing that stuff anyways, and I like to have extras. Let's start with the top half here. In the first pouch, I have all of my eye brushes. Now, these are my everyday eye brushes. I think I've talked about all these before. I've got my M167, which is my packing brush, M441, which is my main blending brush, the M507, a mini blending brush, M433. This is just a smaller, more like pinched version of a blending brush. An extra packing brush, a flat defining brush, a pencil brush, the Morphe M431, and then this is just an extra Morphe M321 blending brush. I usually use it for the under eyes. So those are the eye brushes that I take just because they're my everyday uses. The other brushes, we'll just finish up with the brushes. The other brushes I take are my everyday face brushes. So we've got my powder brush for like translucent powder. Then we have my blush brush. This is Sonia Kashuk. Then we have a Luxie 522. This is for my contour. And then my highlight brush, which is my Morphe M510. So that is it for face brushes. Then let's move to this pouch here. I have my concealer. This is my favorite concealer. This is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Flawless Wear Concealer. Then I also have my travel perfume. This is a Juicy Couture perfume. The next slot over has just some more makeup goodies. I've got my favorite black eyeliner. This is the Smashbox Always On Liquid Eyeliner. I have a mascara. This is the one everybody knows I hate, but it's what I got. Then I have my Marc Jacobs eyeliner. This is the shade Whirlpool. It is a very beautiful blue-green type color. Then I've got a pair of tweezers for applying lashes and plucking stray hairs that might come about. And then I have my jade roller, so when I put on my moisturizers and everything, I roll it in afterwards. I just I like to be a little extra. Moving on to the base of things. The next thing I have in here is my color switch. This is the Sephora brand, but you can get these at the Dollar Tree now. I just like to have this, so if I'm, because I only have so many brushes, I don't have all my extras here. If I dip into one color and want to use of this brush again, I can just switch it out, rub it on this, and not have to rub it on a hotel towel or something like that. Then for eyebrows, I take my iconic London cushion thingy because it's it's safe to travel with. It comes with the brush and spoolie in it already, so it's just one less brush that I have to pack, and it's also got a mirror inside of it, so I can just quickly do that. Like if eyebrows is the only thing that I'm gonna do that day, I just grab this out, plop it on. I don't have to mess with finding a different mirror or mess with the big mirrors at the hotel or whatever. It's just easier. Then for a highlighter, I bring my OFRA Rodeo Drive Highlighter. It's my all-time favorite highlighter, so I love that. My Laura Geller Baked Blush and Brighten blush. Again, this is my all-time favorite brush. Then I also have a mini lotion. This one is by Sol de Janeiro. I love their lotion so much. This is the mini size. Then I think this is considered their travel size. So they have these and then they have the big one. But this is the size I travel with. Even if this is all gone, I will just reload it with the bigger ones and take this with me. Then of course I've got a beauty blender for moisturizers, night cream, eye cream, all that kind of stuff. The eye cream that I use is PERRICONE MD Cold Plasma Eye, so I've got a mini one right here. Actually, it's not a mini, I think this is actually the size. Then I have a TATCHA water cream mini sample. This is perfect. Just the size of it is perfect to take along. Even if when this is gone, I will reuse this with whatever moisturizer I have. So if you have little containers like this from past makeup, keep them, because you can put a piece of tape over the top and write what it actually is if you put something different in there. Otherwise, like my main moisturizer right now is the IT Cosmetics Confidence in a Cream. So when this is gone, I will just refill it with this and then take this with me to travel because it's so small. Other thing you can do, which I did, is before I traveled, I went to Sephora and I got samples of the Drunk Elephant, I can't remember which ones they were, but there's a night cream and a morning cream. So all I did is went there, got some samples. They come in these little tiny cute samples of it. Even if you already own it, just say, hey, can I get a sample of this? Ta-da! And they'll give you a sample of it. And then you just toss it in there and boom. Also, you can do that with other products. If you don't want to take like a full foundation bottle or anything, go to Sephora or Ulta and get a sample of a foundation. I probably wouldn't do it with a foundation that you've never used before, but if there is one foundation that you know you love, go get a sample, and then it fits easy and nice in your travel case. Okay, next I also take my face primer. This one is the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. It's a primer and moisturizer all in one, and I love this primer so much. So I take that one everywhere I go. Then I take my What's Up highlighter. This is a it's not a liquid, it's like a balm. What do you call this? A gel? A balm? What is this called? It's the Benefit What's Up highlighter. I like that one because I typically wear dewy foundations and stuff, and I think that looks better. That's what I'm wearing now. It looks better on top of the dewy foundation. I do take the Rodeo Drive one just in case I want more intensity, but I also use this one for the inner corners and brow bone. Now I do have another highlighter in here too, so I am being a little extra with the highlighters, but you never know. I just like highlight. I also always carry a oh my gosh, I didn't pack any lipsticks. Guys, okay, for lipsticks, just let me show you real quick. The lip liner that I always pack is the Laura Geller lip liner in the shade Spice. This is what I'm wearing right now on my lips. And then I pair it with the NYX Lingerie lipstick in the shade Lace Detail. I think these go gorgeous together. It's what's on my lips together right now. So I always pack these. The other thing that I always pack is my MAC Honey Love matte lipstick. It's another nude shade, but I love it. Then I always pack a lip gloss. This is my Kiko Milano. I pack either this one and or my MAC lip gloss. I can't remember what shade that's in, but it's like a nudie shade. So always pack those. These, and the other shade I always pack is a red. This is my STILA Stay All Day in the shade Fiery. So I always tend to pack several nudes. I like nudes, and I like a variety of nudes. Why? I don't know. Because I feel like some nudes go better with some eye shades, you know? So I always pack a pencil sharpener for my lip liner that I pack. And I always stick my lipsticks in the top here as well. Moving on to the last section in here. I always have a MAC Fix Plus bottle in here. Now, they do make travel sizes of these. So if you purchase the travel size, and which is like half the size of this, and they're really cute, you can always refill that as well. You can open up your big MAC Fix Plus, pour it in there. Otherwise, the other great thing to do with it is just to fill it with water. It won't necessarily be a setting spray or anything, but it'll still be good to dampen your beauty blender or to spritz your brushes to give your metallic shades more intensity. But I always have MAC Fix Plus. The two foundations that I travel with, and you don't have to travel with two foundations, but I travel with two because I like to mix these two together. This is the Too Faced Do You foundation and the L'Oreal Paris Infallible Pro Glow foundation. I mix these two together because it creates a better shade match for myself. Also, I like this one on its own more than I like this one on its own. I feel like this one takes a lot more to get to the full coverage that I like. So if I just mix these two, I just like the coverage that it gives. Then the other main thing I take is my Cover FX Perfector face palette. I love this thing so much. But the reason I take this, number one, it's got a giant mirror in it, which is perfect. Like, I love this mirror so much. I do not like the foundation I'm wearing right now. Holy wow, my smile lines are terrible. Although I also didn't set them, but still, that is really bad. I'm not wearing these foundations right now, by the way. The other reason I take this is because it's got three highlighters in it pretty much. And then it's got my contour shade and a face powder. Now this does have a little bit of shimmer in it, but I do like to use that to set these two foundations. I think it just looks really good. So instead of packing a bunch of individual contours, highlighters, which I did anyways, and a face powder, because my face powders typically come in a bigger thing, I just take this. It's easy. I also take this foundation. By the way, this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills foundation, but I use this as a contour stick. Again, because my foundation is dewy and I tend to like that dewy look. I don't like to put a bunch of powders on my face because I have dry skin. I like to use this, and then I do go over it with the contour shade that's in here. That's what I did today. But I always take this with me too. Then as far as eyeshadow goes, I do go a bit overboard again probably, but it all fits, so it's fine. I take my two Huda Beauty palettes. This is the Nudes and this is the Rose Gold. The reason I take both of them is because for my everyday look, typically I will take, one, I like this shade right here for a base, then I take these two shades for the crease and the outer corner, and then I go into the Rose Gold palette, and then I will use these two shimmers, or if I want something a little different, I'll do the Rose Gold. So I do the mattes out of here, the shimmers out of here. I don't know why, I just like to mix it up. I could just use one palette and be perfectly fine, but just is what it is. Then the other eyeshadow palette I recently discovered and is what is on my eyes right now is the NATASHA DENONA Mini Star palette. So I could probably just travel with this alone and kick the Huda Beauties to the side. If I were traveling with a smaller makeup bag, this is what I would put in there. I wouldn't take the big ones. It would just be this. But it is a dainty, tiny little eyeshadow palette, and you've got your basic shades here for a perfect nude, natural, pretty eye look. Perfect for traveling for me. And then the last two items in here that I take are my Stila liquid eyeshadows. They are in the shade Smoky Storm and Smoldering Satin. Now, these are the super beautiful glitter eyeshadows. The reason I take these with is just in case I go out and want just a little more oomph or want to do a little more something fun, then I have these on hand. These are my favorite things. I love glitter, so if I do end up wanting to do something more fun, I've got it in the bag. The other thing I do if I do want to take a translucent powder, this one is my Coty Airspun, and it is really big, so it takes up a lot of space. So I got these little containers at Target, I believe. This one broke, but they are just little round cylinder things. I can't remember what section I got them in, but the top just turns off, and then you can store your stuff in there. So I will put translucent powder in that one. Right now I have actually an eyeshadow pigment stored in there, so easy peasy lemon squeezy, and then you can just toss that in the bag. And it comes in like a stack of 5 of these, so you can put translucent powder in one, you can put creams in another, whatever you need. You can squirt your foundation in one if you want to do that. So those come in super handy. The other thing you can do is get a contact case if you have any liquids that you're traveling with, like your moisturizers or anything like that. If you don't want to stop at Sephora and get something like this, you can just put your moisturizers in the little contacts case. Depending on how long you're going for, that should be the perfect amount. It looks like it's not very much, but usually moisturizers and everything, a little bit goes a long way. Alright, so that is everything that is in my makeup bag and that I travel with typically. If you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. Let me know what your main travel items are, what you don't leave without. All of the items that I mentioned, everything in here, will be linked in the description box below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Thank you so much for being here. We will see you in the next one. Bye!